Hi, Darren here. Yeah, this is Desalini. Yeah, a few words today about a TV show that had a massive influence on me as someone discovering, alternative and indie music during that incredibly fertile period at the turn of the 1980s into the 1990s. And yeah, that show that I'm talking about was Snub TV. And yeah, we're going to talk about it right now. But briefly, before Snub, yeah, I am still working on that two-part feature that I hinted at on the community tab on the channel recently. But that's kind of expanded a little bit to include, yeah, some actual honest to goodness location shooting. I'm gonna bust out the Fortress of Solitude here. But I'm not going to spoiler that any more than I already have. Yeah, still battling the after effects of COVID. Not feeling 100%. So yeah, this video is me just kind of picking off some low-hanging fruit until I can get back to business as usual. So Snub TV, I'll just call it Snub from this point on, actually. Yeah, it was a kind of music, culture, magazine program show dedicated to the burgeoning, indie and alternative scene. Yeah, it originally aired as a kind of a very short form series. I think there were only 14 episodes, I believe, which went out on the night flight, kind of overnight section of the USA Network, which was kind of an NBC affiliated cable TV channel. Yeah, and these episodes, this footage, they're pretty much gone. They're lost. I can't find anything in the way of, any YouTube clips or any video, any VHS rips at all. They seem to have completely vanished. But if you're interested, yeah, here taken from Wikipedia actually, is a promotional flyer, for a couple of the upcoming episodes as they broadcast then, back in around about 1987 to 89. And as you can see from the bottom there, yeah, they had some pretty cool names on the show. They had Swans, they had the World Domination Enterprises, the Three Johns, Sugar Cubes. But crucially, after this this US run in these kind of, late night, the graveyard slots, the show was picked up to fill a slot in the BBC's kind of youth programming section by Janet Street Porter. And a further 3 series of Snub were commissioned, these all airing between 1989 and 1991. That's a total of 24 episodes over those 3 seasons, each one being about 30 minutes each. And although these kind of UK broadcast episodes have never been officially compiled together for any kind of physical or archival release, they are very widely available on YouTube. Yeah, I'll pop a link up here to a YouTube channel called STX. I'm just a subscriber. I have no link to the channel, other than that. But they have a pretty comprehensive list of all the episodes, most of them being full episodes as well. Only a couple of partial ones on there. And whilst I say there were no physical or archival releases, there were a pair of VHS video compilations of Snub. This is Volume 1. That's my copy of Volume 1. These were released in the kind of the early 1990s. Again, compilations of clips from various episodes. You still find copies of these for sale. Of course, you'll need a VCR to play them. They never made it to DVD or Blu-ray. So yeah, I don't own Volume 2 of this, but I'll flash up an image of the cover. It's very similar to Volume 1. Yeah, and this UK version of the show basically kind of picked up where the US version left off. It was just a very low budget, very DIY, kind of a 2-person operation. Those 2 people being Brenda Kelly, who was a journalist who worked with the indie distribution kind of group, The Cartel, worked across a number of record labels, and a guy called Pete Fowler, who was a cameraman. He did a lot of live and promo work for Rough Trade Records initially, and then onto Southern Records. And yet the show itself, it was basically kind of a compilation, each episode 30 minutes or thereabouts, of interviews, live takes and live performances, and some music videos of indie and alternative acts of the day. But yeah, just to refocus you back on that time period, this is 1989 to 1991. So yeah, what a time to be documenting indie and alternative music, really. That just pre-grunge period. You got so much good stuff. You got first UK TV appearances for the Pixies and the Butthole Surfers. I mean, the live take of the Pixies doing Dead, it just absolutely shook me the first time I saw it, the first time I heard it. It definitely one of those kind of life-changing TV music moments. Yeah, in that period, they covered the Manchester scene. They had the Stone Roses, the Happy Mondays, the Inspiral Carpets, James, they all featured on episodes. Yeah, and all the big beasts of the UK, indie alternative underground scene of the day, they all featured. Some of them on, more than one episode. The Fall, New Order, Wire, The Cure, The Wedding Present, the Mekons. Yeah, there were appearances by all those, the big US acts, the big kind of pre-grunge, proto kind of alt rock proto-indie rock acts, Pixies, as I've already said. You got Sonic Youth, Dinosaur Jr., Fugazi, Galaxy 500, The Breeders, Throwing Muses too. The shoegaze scene was very well represented too. You got My Bloody Valentine, Ride, Lush, the Cocteau Twins, Moose, Loop, The Pale Saints, Catherine Wheel, Bleach, Spaceman 3, Ultra Vivid Scene. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole scene they documented over the course of these 24 episodes. Yeah, they even went as far afield as some hip-hop acts. You got features on Boogie Down Productions, EPMD, Cookie Crew, the Stereo MCs, I think, had an episode too. And in a similar vein, they also covered some of the more kind of interesting, synth, electronic, dance music of the time. Renegade Soundwave, 808 State, Cabaret Voltaire, the On You sound system. Yeah, if you were around at the time and you were into, indie or alternative music, not just in the UK, these shows did, I think, make it as far as certain European networks as well, that you may well have very, very fond memories of these shows. Yeah, a great introduction to actually, being able to see the bands, see them kind of interviewed in quite, intimate, close-up kind of post-gig, pre-gig circumstances. Yeah, it was just a great document of that time. I would say, yeah, if you're looking to get into the music, or if you're younger and you're looking back, then yeah, chase up YouTube clips of this show for just some prime coverage of the bands that were just the life-changing kind of indie acts for a lot of us at that time. Yeah, the last time I saw any kind of media coverage, wider media coverage of Snub TV, was about 5 or 6 years ago. There was a retrospective feature in The Guardian about it. Interviewing a lot of the main people involved in producing and creating the show. And at that time, they were basically kind of, they really were pushing and would have liked to have made kind of some kind of box set of all this material. They've got lots of footage that they never got to use. Some very interesting sounding interview footage, involving Steve Albini, Hunter S. Thompson. But the money wasn't there for it. They wanted to make a good job of it, and it just hasn't happened. And who knows, in these days when everything seems to be moving towards more of a streaming direction, I don't know if we ever will see these compiled again. Who knows, Netflix, maybe get on the case. Anyway, that was Snub TV. Yeah, you may have seen some of these clips in various other forms. They've been harvested and recirculated on YouTube for quite a while. But yeah, I do urge you to kind of maybe chase up some of the full episodes. They really give you a taste of what the indie alternative music scene was like of that period of time. Anyway, yeah, I'll be back soon with hopefully some longer content, something more to get your teeth into. But in the meantime, please, like, comment below if you remember Snub TV or anything else you want to get off your chest. Yeah, so that's it. I'll say goodbye for now. See you again soon.